Kia ora, good evening. It's not a matter of if, but when. And a new report released today says a large tsunami could arrive before sirens can be activated. In Southland, the impact from tsunami is now considered greater. And Emergency Management Southland is urging those living in coastal areas to act on natural warning. The message remains: if a significant earthquake makes it hard to stand up and lasts more than 30 seconds, move inland or to higher ground. A review of tsunami hazard in New Zealand shows around 10 tsunami of 5 metres or more have struck since 1840 and strike every 40 to 50 years on average. The Red Cross Otago Southland Welfare Support Vehicle was on display at Gala Street Reserve yesterday for an open day to encourage new members and emergency response awareness. NZ Red Cross has 2 disaster welfare support teams in Southland ready to respond in an emergency. Members of the Invercargill team train weekly and displayed their skills at yesterday's open day. The Invercargill Red Cross Service Centre is focused on expanding membership in the south, and we're also promoting 2 training courses on offer. People Savers is a first aid basics for year 4 to 8 children, while Save a Mate courses prepare young people to look after their mate if they get into difficulty after drinking or taking drugs. Frana Cardno has loomed large within the region's local government scene from her political beginning in the late 1970s until her forthcoming retirement as Mayor of the Southland District. She told Hunter Andrews of the challenges facing the current district mayoral candidates and of her entrance to the political stage 35 years ago.
Well, it's all about preserving our Southland communities. It's about our roads, of course, always roads, but it's more than that. It's retaining our youth and to keep Southland communities a great place to live. So there's a lot of work to be done because it's becoming more and more difficult for our rural communities. So the challenges ahead is to really look after that Southland district.
The roading is huge, isn't it? What do you think it's going to take to have Fonterra tankers slipping off roads before we do get some real attention with central government?
Yeah, I hope not. But I believe that you have to show to central government that our roads are of economic importance to the whole of New Zealand. We produce to keep New Zealand's economy going, and that has to be recognised. So roads of national significance should be our rural roading.
Did that frustrate you, that there does seem to be a very Auckland-centric sort of attitude going on at the moment with infrastructure and that sort of thing?
Yes, it does. I mean, Auckland is important. We are one big family in New Zealand, but they also have to acknowledge the importance of rural and provincial New Zealand, and our roads are of economic significance, and we need that help to keep New Zealand economy going.
Let's talk about you in politics. Let's start at the beginning. When did you first get involved and what sparked your interest in local government?
Yes, well, I started in the late 1970s for the local community board under the Wallace County, and I started because my family, 4 children, were young and I wanted a library for our community. But I think the seeds were planted because I had a private kindergarten, but it was in a church hall, and I wanted to move to the hall, and I was turned down because they felt that by the community board that the children would be untidy, and that really got to me, and it was my first challenge, I think, to sort of fight that type of bureaucratic idea.
It sort of leads me into the next question. It's a pretty male-dominated environment now, even in local government, but then it must have been huge. How did you feel at the time? Did you feel you could really get things done?
Well, I felt lonely, and yes, I was the first woman ever on the Te Anea Community Board, on the District Council, the 4 councils into one, had never had a woman. So yes, it was pretty lonely at times, and I had to tell myself often that you can do it, but it was quite a journey, and It's very disappointing not to see more women come forward today.
Yes, we've got 3 standing for the city and 3 only for the district. So you'd want more, obviously.
Yes, I think, I'm not a sexist sort of person, but I think we've got to have equality. And we're now, celebrating women's suffragette and those women who stood up to get the women's vote. And I think it's disappointing that there's not more women standing for these roles because they do put a different perspective.
And we'll have more from the career of retiring Southland District Mayor Frana Cardno tomorrow night. The government is encouraged by the public interest being shown in shares for the soon-to-be floated Meridian Energy. Around half the shares to be floated at the end of this month have already been snapped up. Last week, share brokers were asked to submit bids for shares based on the interest shown by their clients in investing in the energy company. Finance Minister Bill English says New Zealand share brokers have already committed to purchasing 565 million shares at a first instalment price of $1. The government will sell 49% of Meridian Energy at the end of the month, retaining a controlling 51%. Stay with us after the break. More from the weekend, including a senior flash mob sing out. Welcome back. A recent survey of 1,500 urban and rural Southland residents provides insights into their thoughts and feelings that can be used in council planning processes. Despite the future of Tiwai aluminium smelter and Fonterra's botulism scare tainting optimism at the time of the survey, our sense of community remains strong. A satisfaction survey conducted in the South recently shows concern over the region's economy, but strong sense of community remains.
If there's one thing that comes through when we talk to Southlanders is they do love living here. They do love the sense of being connected and they would love more of that. And it's those connections, it's the ability to network with people that come through time and time again. And it's a feature of life in the South.
This time round, the 18 to 44 age group are less confident than when surveyed 3 years ago.
Now that does reflect the fact we're in a recession. Overall, I think the region's weathering it pretty well, but it does highlight the fact that people out there are making ends meet. The economic question, I think, it's something we need to keep right at the forefront of our minds, how to diversify our economy, how to move it forward into the future. And actually, when you talk economics, you're talking about community sustainability too, because the more work, the more people you have here, the longer your communities will thrive.
People are generally happy with the quality of water in rivers, waterways and town supplies.
So water quality across the board was something that people were concerned about and wanted to make sure that it is maintained. When it came to dairying, the comments coming back were relating more to the number of cows in the region, more than dairying practices. So people worried about, I guess, how many cows can one region support, and we're thinking about that. DIDIMO did come up as a big issue. People very concerned about the spread of that.
In the urban environment, Invercargill was divided into north and south to ensure a balanced sample.
Overall, satisfaction for living in the city. People were saying they want a vibrant city centre. They want a community centre. They want community focuses. That comes through strongly. A lot of people, when we asked about the one big thing to change, said it's fine. We don't have anything. We're quite happy to live here. And that came out in Invercargill North in particular. I mean, there's concern about empty shops. There's concern about rubbish. There's concern about the place starting to look unattractive. So if there's something to be done, get the energy back into the city centre, make it feel like a place people want to come.
Personal health rated well, as did access to health services, while work-life balance also came up trumps. The full report will be out next month, when results can be compared with demographics from this year's census. Margot Sutherland, South Today News. Southerners were having their health and wellbeing tested on Saturday at an expo in Invercargill. Around 20 students studying sport and exercise science at the Southern Institute of Technology joined forces with a number of local businesses to run a health and wellbeing expo as part of their study. Activity stations including slacklining and yoga were well utilised, while local gyms and parkour enthusiasts gave demonstrations. Nursing students checked blood pressures and sugar levels, while Cycling Southland used static bike racing to get people's blood pumping. Students are hoping to make the expo an annual event. Tomorrow is International Day of Older Persons, which kicks off a whole month of activities to celebrate our mature citizens. The flash mob sing out at Glengarry Market Day was the first act of celebration of the Older Person Month, a month packed with entertainment. The flash mob filed out and sang classic tunes for 20 minutes before melting away into the crowd of appreciative Saturday morning bargain hunters. There are many events on over the coming month, including concerts, lectures, exhibitions and maybe even another flash mob sing out. Working Committee Coordinator Leslie Gray is looking forward to a full month of activities.
Well, we actually decided that we could get out there and do something that would attract a little bit of attention and promote some of the activities that we're having in the next month.
Whose idea was it?
It was actually Rebecca Amundsen who suggested it to us first. She's on our organising committee. And then some of us took it on board and we approached the choir, the Uniquely Us choir and the Glengarry Market people, and they thought it was a good idea to try it. So some very brave souls came out. I didn't tell them the TV might be here until afterwards.
So what's it all in aid of? What are you promoting?
Well, we're promoting our concert on the 22nd of October, which is down Memory Lane, and it's an afternoon concert for recognising International Day of Older People and also Greats and Grands Month.
Yes, so it is quite a big month, isn't it, of activities?
It is really.
A lot of activities coming up.
Yes, a lot of groups have planned special activities. Some of the rest homes are having special discos and dress parades, and the library and the museum and a number of organisations are helping as well.
Can we rule out seeing more flash mobs?
No, we have got another one planned actually next month at one of the other markets. So hopefully people will turn out and join in like they did this morning. It went really well.
And the search was on to find the most promising singer and performing female at Southland Boys High School Hall on Saturday night. 5 young female singers aged between 15 and 20 performed to win a coveted singing scholarship on offer from the ILT Foundation. The event's run by the Fovo Harmony Chorus, and competitors for the 9th scholarship sang country to pop folk, classical and jazz. Adjudicators Invercargill duo Into the East awarded the $2,000 scholarship to 16-year-old Hannah Jackson. Men's barbershop chorus Southern Sounds also performed as a prelude to the National Men's Convention underway in the city later this week. And that is all from us this Monday. Next in sport, we're post-match with the Stags after their victory on Saturday. From the news team, good night.